Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to join your yarn to a new project when you're running out and you need to join another strand of yarn or another ball of yarn to your project. So I'm currently working on a custom order for the butterfly Shelly dress. I already have a tutorial for it and this is how everything is coming together. I am using yarn. This is the yarn that I'm using for this project. It's a bit silky and it's not bushy on the surface, so I'll definitely try this yarn again and I'll make different projects out of it. So I think I'm definitely stocking this yarn in bulk so that I can use it for several projects, for example summer tops and several other designs. At that point where my previous ball of yarn is done and I need to attach a new ball of yarn or a new strand. So I have my strand here and this is the one that has gotten done. So we're going to get both strands. Just watch what I'm doing. Just watch closely. I think I'm going to zoom in a bit so that you can get a better view. All you have to have is your crochet hook, of course, because you're going to continue working your project. And then you'll also need a pair of scissors because you're going to cut off the loose ends after creating the knot between the two strands. So you're going to lay down your strand like this. Those are the two strands. This one is coming from this side and this is the new strand. And then this is the old strand that's connected to the project that you're working on currently. So you're going to start with this one. Any is okay. So I'll start with this and wrap it around this strand like that. Just wrap it around like this. And then you're going to hold here. You can see my pinky finger is holding and we're going to make a knot on this side. Just one knot. And then you let go. You can see that this yarn splits, but it gives a really good final finish. It's not as bad as some of the yarns that I've used before. So after making a knot here, you're going to do the same on this strand. Use the strand from the project and make a knot around the new strand. So just one knot is enough, like that. And this is the knot that we've created. So you use the strand from the project to tie around the new strand. Then you use the new strand to tie around the strand from the project. And this is what you'll have. You'll create that middle loop and you'll have two tails, one on this side and one on this side. Now look why they call it the magic knot. You're going to just pull on both strands. You're going to pull and you'll notice that the knots are coming together. Just watch. And you're going to pull until those knots meet. And the loose strands that were hanging have also met at the same point. So you make sure you've pulled to your tightest so that the knots meet. And at this point, you're going to grab your pair of scissors and cut off these tails very close to the knot. Just make sure you don't cut the knot. You just cut off the loose tails. And then you can get rid of those. And this is what our knot looks like. I know it's not the best look, but it will give us something very neat. If possible, you can even go ahead and cut even further so that you can get rid of the loose strand that we've left behind there. And then now it's time for me to go back to my project. And we're going to work until we get past that knot and we see how it hides into the project. So you can see it's here. Just go ahead and work your project normally. So this is what we have. The knot is seen, yes, but it's secured enough. There's no room for it to unravel or untie itself and then the project falls apart. This is something that you need to consider, because sometimes we want knots that are almost invisible, but when it comes to you cutting that knot or cutting the loose end from the knot, that knot can easily undo itself. For example, let me get a strand here and demonstrate something. So let me say we are joining 2 strands of yarn. I have made 2 samples here, and you go for this method of a normal knot. We've tied twice. As you can see here, we have a knot that resembles the knot that we did somewhere around here, but we've done it in a different way. So at this point, you're going to cut your yarn, and you'll be very excited that this knot is actually much smaller than the knot that we did using the magic knot. But when it comes to pulling this, you can see it can fall apart. You see that? As opposed to, let me just show you one more time for the magic knot. This is going to be a little bit quick. Okay, that's the magic knot, and then we are going to cut the loose ends, and we are going to try to pull on it, and we see whether it can fall apart. So even if you pull and pull and pull and pull, the yarn is not going to fall apart. So let me just demonstrate that one more time. I don't want you to face these issues, because sometimes clients can bring back projects when the yarn has fallen apart. All right, so we've tied twice, and then the yarn is just separating. So let me just give you one more tip. If you find the magic knot a little bit confusing or a little bit frustrating or something that you don't like, you can go ahead and tie this just as usual, but don't stop there. You're going to have to tie again. So it's like we have a total of 3 knots instead of 2. And then from here, you can cut your yarn. All right. And now, even if we pull, it's like we've secured our yarn just like the magic knot does. So if you're to go for approach 2, you're going to have to make sure that you tie a total of 3 times for joining your strands together. So this way you can be sure that the yarn is not going to separate or split later on, and your garment is secure enough for a very long time, and it's not going to fall apart. So that is for the demonstration. There is approach 1, which is the magic ring, the magic knot, sorry, which we did here. Then there's approach 3. Make sure you never go to approach 2. Make sure you take the time to knot your strand 3 times if you're going for the second approach. I can't emphasize this enough, because I have seen my work falling apart when I have finished a project and I don't even know where to start from. So that's the little advice that I have for you today, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.